Doe welcome back to the channel. Part 2 of NoFap attraction. How to understand where women are attracted to. Now I'm gonna give some disclaimers here and there, but in this video you will understand where most women are attracted to. This does not include all women, which means there's a certain part of women who are attracted to the things I'm going to explain, and they are in the majority at this moment. So hear me out, but first let's start off with the mainstream lies. Do not believe any mainstream lie that you hear. Now what is the mainstream lie you hear nowadays? Well, that is the first thing. They want a nice guy. They want to be treated like a princess or a queen. They want a guy who is charming. They want a guy that talks about his feelings and being vulnerable. They want a guy that gives them all of his attention and puts 100% effort in them. They want a guy that is 100% available. They want a guy that knows how to surprise them. They want a guy that will make them feel good about themselves. And the biggest lie, I don't care about his physical appearance. That is a lie I've heard so many times, and I'm gonna break that down right now. This is what they are actually attracted to. Now, disclaimer, not all women, and this is a fact, are this shallow. This will be explained in the part 3. You will then have a better understanding. But for a lot of girls, this does apply, and there's a reason for it that you will understand in the next video. So, the first thing that they're really attracted to is height. He must be at least 6 foot. Now, some girls will say 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", I don't know. But at least 6 foot. It always starts with a 6. Then, they must have a nice face. Details will be explained in this video. But here's the thing. Girls are very visual and they are really into handsome guys. Never saw a girl talk so good about a guy that we deem as not attractive. So, the next thing is having a strong frame. In most cases, a nice lean body. Now, having also, let's say, a higher body fat makes things a bit okay in certain cases. There are some women who love a strong frame as long as he isn't obese, that big swole body. Now the next thing is, must have a good income. Not just stable, I'm talking about 6 figures or more. The next thing is, must have a good voice. Deeper voice will increase attraction even more, but if you have a good voice, you'll always attract them. And I got some examples for you at the moment. Now, the next thing is, must know how to dress, and that is something I really can understand. Just like the good voice, unlike the good income in some cases, because some of them have a reason for it, which I will explain in a moment. The next thing is a head with a lot of hair, and some men look better without. And the next and the most important thing for them, not for you guys, but for them, is that he must be desired by almost, if not all, women. It is a trophy man, and it's more common than you think. It's more like a herd mentality, where girls, when they see other girls drool over a guy, then they want that guy. It's more like a competition. Who gets to have that guy? Now, let's start off with height. I'm going to give you an example. Here's where you say a regular guy. Now this one is a short guy. He must be at least 5 foot. But this is what they consider a regular guy. Excuse me that I have to rephrase it. But this is what they consider a regular guy, and this is what they consider a short guy. A guy that they don't see. They don't want to see. This is important for them if he's above 6 foot. Now, a guy that can make a guy like this will always be desired. Why is that? Now, because they say he must be at least this tall to ride, if you know what I mean. So this height, what this guy has, is perfect for her. But this height, she will not even look at him. They want to feel like they have a strong male that they can provide safety and security for them. So a tall guy will do that trick. It's something evolutionary or whatever you want to think of it as a reason why. For some people, they believe God made them. For some people, they believe it's evolution. Whatever you believe, that's actually how I want to explain to you. Now, next to height, the face is also important. So we're going to talk about the facial experience for the women. When they see a man like this, how they experience it is like a high. Now, of course, you see here cheekbone implants, mouth widening, and temporal implants. Some guys who have terrible looks can resort to plastic surgery to improve their looks, but there are guys who just hit the genetic lottery. So I'm going to give you a great example of what girls will choose out of these two. See the guy here? Nice jawline, strong chin, he has a good mouth, good nose, straight eyebrows, straight eyes. This guy, on the other hand, has a roundish face instead of a nice chiseled face. His nose is kind of wide for his eyes, unlike this guy. His eyebrows are tilted downwards, eyes are also tilted downwards, and he has overall not a pleasing look, let alone his chin. Now this can be dealt with by losing weight, but I will give that example in a moment. So the facial symmetry is what will make you understand how attraction works for men and women, but in this case for women. So the most important is the eye width and the straight eyes. If you have droopy eyes, it will just destroy your attraction. So the width of your eyes must be at least one eye in between. Some people have like really narrow eyes, that the eyes come all the way up here, and it makes their eyes look terrible. See here, once again, the eyebrows, they are decent, but more like tilted downwards. His nose is kinda okay. His upper third or second third is looking okay, but here is where the problem rises, is his jaw that starts to get really on the slim side, as well as his mouth. Now I'm going to show you the next example that you can compare to this one. See what I'm talking about? Here it's smaller, but here it's still wide. He has a good mouth, strong chin, nice jawline here. His nose is straight, but this one is better. But unlike his eyebrows, see how his eyebrows look. This one is tilting downwards. This one is going straight. If you see, same thing goes for his eyes. Now his eyes have upper eyelid exposure, which this one doesn't have. So I'm going to give you a nice chart, which is this one. So if you want to look at a good face, you need to have a good definition of cheekbones. Just like this, oh, excuse me. Just like this one has. See that? A good set of cheekbones. This one doesn't have it. It's more like a poor definition of cheekbones. Straight teeth. You guys can see it from this guy. Well, this one has crooked teeth, but we don't know about this mouth. But some people may assume that this one may have some crooked teeth. Doesn't matter. He has a well-developed jaw. And you guys can see it here. It's a nice straight jaw. Unlike this one, he has alert eyes. He has a straight nose. Just like this, only this nose is better in my honest opinion. And this one has a wider face. You guys can see here, this one is not as wide as this one, while this one is almost as wide as this one. So, the tired eyes. If you guys see this, the upper eyelid exposure. And this one has a narrow face and yeah, you may even assume that this guy may even have a set back jaw, but we cannot be for sure. I don't have any other picture of this person, only this one. So we're gonna talk about the lower third, which is this whole side. And this side will explain a lot. Before we begin with that, I want to show you an example of what I showed previously. I'm gonna use Leonardo DiCaprio for this. And this picture. Spot the difference in this picture. Seen it? Me too. This jaw is wider than this jaw. His mouth looks different than this mouth. His chin is a bit weaker than this chin. His nose looks a little bit deformed compared to this nose. See how a lower third makes a face. Even his eyes look a bit different than this one. So that is how important the lower third is. A lower third makes the face. A good lower third makes a face. Want to see how? I'm going to give you another example, but this time too. You see this gentleman right here has a good set of cheekbones, good set of eyes, straight eyebrows, great nose, great mouth, strong chin, and a chiseled jawline. This lower third really made this face complete. Here's another example of how a jawline looks and how it makes the face. Strong chin and a chiseled jawline. Look at this jawline. This looks great. Forward tilted jawline. Straight nose, straight eyebrows, straight eyes, and a good mouth. This is the symmetry that makes the face. Now, I'm gonna make you look at this picture and I want you to spot another difference. This time it's going to be a bit more obvious than Leonardo. Exactly. This man has a nice jawline and his chin is tilted forwards. Unlike this one is tilted backwards and you don't see any jawline here. You don't even know where his jaw starts. And here it is more defined. You can also see that his nose is a bit different from his nose here. And of course you see that his hair is a bit fuller than what it is here. Now his eyebrows are a bit better. And you can see that the way he looks here more masculine than here. So now we're gonna go to the next, because of course the face is important as your height. But there's another thing that's important as your face. And that is your body. See, your body speaks a lot. Having high body fat will explain to people that you have low testosterone and high estrogen, while this body fat shows that you have high testosterone, a low estrogen. This makes a person, along with his face, complete with the rest of his body. See, I'm also always gonna explain it to people. It is great to be lean. However, I'm gonna show you something. Never remain skinny. See, it's easier to get muscle while you're skinny, while losing weight first and then get muscle. Or let's say having a recomp where you just lose body fat and gain muscle. But I'm going to show you, like the previous example, of how a good body can make a change. Now you saw a fat body that looked nowhere near as good as the lean body. But this skinny guy, look at him here. Doesn't look that masculine. Doesn't look like he has a frame. Doesn't look like he can protect you. This guy, same guy of course, does. He looks good. He looks strong. This is aesthetically pleasing. So you need to have an aesthetically pleasing body. Now the next example is also good. However, you guys can see that this guy does have a bit of muscle, unlike this guy. However, you guys can see the difference. See, after he gained some muscle, his face looked even better than here. So that is important. But if you're gonna get some muscle, make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing. Now your body, like I said, is important as nice as your face. So once again, do not stay skinny or fat, but make sure that you train your body well. Here is another example of a skinny guy that looks more masculine after exercising. You don't need massive amounts of muscle to look more masculine. Because I'm not saying that you need to become a bodybuilder to have a better frame. No, just aesthetically pleasing. So don't copy Ronnie Coleman or Big Ramy, because they're both Mr. Olympia, by the way. So the next thing is, you must have a good income. Not just stable, but I'm talking about 6 figures or more. Now there are a couple of reasons why they want a man with 6 figures. And you may understand number 1, but it's more like in a shallow way. So these girls want to feel established. So if a good-looking man has resource that a woman gets him, it's like she hit the jackpot. She thinks she can spend however she wants, on whatever she wants, has no financial worries, which I can understand. People look up to him, therefore they will look up to her since she has him. It's more like a status-related thing. People of status have wealth and people look up to them. So it's gonna increase, according to her idea, her worth. And that is why so many girls want a guy with 6 figures or more. Now reason number 2, which I find a legit reason, is they want stability for the future and unforeseen financial hits that he can take. That does not mean that the man with a stable income cannot take hits. But a man who has a lot to spend can easily take a hit without even worrying about it or without even trying to correct the damage. So when they have children, she's assured that the children will have the financial means to get to where they want to be in life. Even if he wouldn't work for quite a while, because the guy has a lot of money. Now reason number 3, to go on vacation at any given moment. Wherever they want, they can go wherever they want. When you're wealthy, places like Maldives, Bali, etc., Hawaii, name it, will become a destination. Now the next thing is also important, but I can understand this in a better way than this kind of subject, like money. So the next thing is, they must have a good voice. A deeper voice will increase attraction. I'm gonna give you guys an example of this person who has a high voice.
Actually, you don't have to have a deep voice to be considered a boy. Boys can have high voices also. And even if you don't agree with me, you should still be respectful.
Now pay close attention to this voice.
Hey baby, come on, let's get you out of bed.
See the difference? Once again, here.
Actually, you don't have to have a deep voice to be considered.
Very high voice.
Boys can have
kind of
high
feminine.
voices also. And even if you don't
This isn't the voice that you should
be
have.
respectful.
And this is the voice of high testosterone.
Hey baby, come on, let's get you out of bed.
Now if you have a voice in between, that is good. But if you have a voice this high, please consult your medical expert and talk about this. Maybe there is something they can do about it. But that is how your voice will make you. And it can make you either attractive or unattractive. So the next thing is, he must know how to dress. But I'm going to give an example, which I wrote not like this. And this is the kind of mistake that a lot of guys make. Look at this. And back in the day, like way back in the days, I had my fair share of the way he was dressing. And I did it myself as well. Like some regular shoes he found on his way. Somewhere down in his basement he found this pants. Just a blouser and a fleece jack on top of it. And that's it. And his hair, oh yeah, we'll forget about it. Or like Shia LaBeouf. This is not how you present yourself outside unless you really don't care about attracting girls. Or guys, if you're not heterosexual. So this is also another thing. Please guys, learn how to dress. There are plenty of places where you can check out. But I'm going to give you a warning. Just because I tell you not to dress like this doesn't mean that you have to dress like this too. That is something I would not advise. And if you want to do it, but I'm not really recommending it. If you want to know how to dress, I would recommend something like this, or like this. You see how this blouser complements his body and face, as well as this and this. Look at his chest coming out. Look at how his body looks. Look at this frame. This is how I would advise you to dress. Dress neat and dress good. Now the next thing may bother some people, but you have to understand a couple of things. And that is that you need a head with a lots of hair. But there is also people who need to shave that they look better without hair. But I'm gonna give you guys an example of the Norwood chart. The scale of Norwood will explain your baldness, your male pattern baldness. So this guy has a full head of hair. If you guys can see here, everything is fine. His hair looks face. It makes his face. Now the number 2 of the Norwood chart here, you guys can see that his hairline is receding and more at 2A. Now 3A and 3 will start to make you look terrible. Now in this case, I would recommend either get a hair transplant or use a dermapen with minoxidil or shave it all off. Now I'm gonna give you guys an example of someone that has a Norwood scale of number 6 or 7 by the way, how it looks and how number 1 makes him look. So this person that you will about to see will show you why hair is important. You see here that this guy has male pattern baldness, alopecia. He has hair on his sides, but no hair on top. We call it de ziekte van Hedel. So, after, whether this is a toupee or a hair transplant, look at how this makes him. So, this is why it's important. Hair makes the face. If you can't have hair, but you can afford a toupee instead of hair transplant, get a toupee. But I would really advise you to look into minoxidil and dermapen and consult your medical expert about this. Now, the next one is how it looks when you're completely bald versus having a haircut. Now, of course, this one is photoshopped. You can obviously see that. There's no way that his head looks like this. However, spot the difference. Without hair, with hair. Hair made his face. No hair doesn't do his face any good. But sometimes balding does make the face. In some cases, it actually does. Now I'm gonna give you an example. And you may know this person. Ta-da! Jeremy Meeks. He is known for being a good-looking felon who was arrested a long time ago, and his mugshot came out and all the girls were over him. Now you guys can see that he has a good jawline here, a good set of mouth, good nose, although his eyebrows are questionable, but furthermore he looks good, but he has long hair here. Now the next picture will kind of shock you, because this is what he looked prior to shaving his hair. To shaving his hair to shaving his hair, his head bald. Now this is not pleasing compared to this one, but you guys know that this is the same person. So the next picture is this without a lot of hair. You can see that he was balding here. He was losing some hair here and here's also. So he was having on the Norwood scale, I think either 2 or 2A. But his short hair made him look way better, almost bald, made him look way better than with hair or with long hair in a ponytail. So this is the difference when you're having a whole set of shaved head. Now I'm actually now wondering if this actually was taken before this, because I don't see a tattoo here, by the way, which I do see it on his neck and here. But here, I think this one was an earlier picture, because he was a known criminal in the especially in the model industry, because he became a model eventually. But yeah, and this is how shaving your head can complement your face. So be aware of that. So try it out if you already have short hair, how it looks without hair. Now, the next thing, which women will never admit, which a lot of women will never admit, because there are women, because here's a disclaimer, who don't care about their partner or the desired man that they have, that he is desired by almost, if not all, women. So here is the deal, and this goes for a lot of girls. They find it extremely important that the guy that they want is also desired by others. So if the guy is liked by already 3, it's some kind of a competition feeling for these girls, like they want to compete for this guy to eventually have him as a trophy. And it works wonders, because if these 3, for example, are into him, eventually they will start having more, and they're going to chase him. So eventually he's going to walk a marathon, and if he looks back, they're still behind him. Now, why is that? I'm going to give you guys something to read. Now, you guys can see here that, and I'll put the link in the description box, by the way. This was written by Independent. Women find men more attractive once they find out he's desired by others, a new study suggests. Published in the journal Scientific Reports, researchers from the University of St. Andrews, Durham, and Exeter, well, correct me, let me say it this way. Tell me how to pronounce this name. Anyways, believe that a man is given an attraction boost when he's desired by other women. This is because he is perceived to be more kind, faithful, and a better father. This last one is a complete lie. It's because he's perceived to be desired by more. So if he's desired, the other one must have it. It's like, oh, so this must be gold, and then I want to have it. So the study tested the idea of mate copying, where a person is preferred as a future romantic partner simply because they have relationship experience, by showing 49 female participants images of men's faces, hands, and a piece of art. So a lot of girls will deny this, but you will see how they will behave once the man is desired by many, and how they will compete with one another to get that man. And there are certain girls who don't do that, like I said. And those are the girls that say, I don't care if my man actually, or let's say that my crush is desired by men. I just want him. If nobody else wants him, that's good. I still want him. Because there are some women who think, oh, well, if nobody wants him, why should I have him? Maybe he's not that worth that much. You see where I'm going with this? So this is their way of thinking. It's an emotional, it's more like a logic contradiction. For some reason, they think it makes sense, but I digress. Who am I to say, right? Now, like I said, the study says women like men that are desired by other women. Mate choice copying. Now, link of the study and article will be in the description box. I'm going to copy this one and this, and I'll put them in the description box so you guys can see it. So, what is next? Of course, you'll be like, do I really have to put that much effort into becoming an attractive person? I thought NoFap would help me. Well, like I said in a previous video, you really need to put effort in yourself. You cannot just start NoFap and expect everything will be fine without putting any effort in it. So, what is the thing you can do? Well, it's called looks maxing. Looks maxing will help you. And what is looks maxing? Now, I'll explain. To begin with improving attraction, improve your body, as I stated in a previous video, part 1. Now, the leaner you are, the more attractive you are. Body fat does no man any good. Especially in the case of testosterone. High body fat indicates low or lower testosterone. And don't wait. Really start right now. Because looks maxing is using any available tool to improve your looks by fixing your hair or going bald, shaving all the hair off if it makes you look better, having a change of a dress, straighten your teeth with braces if necessary, going to the gym, start doing all kinds of exercise to have a better and a stronger jawline, so on and so forth. That is how this will actually help you. Because if you really believe that you're helpless, that you cannot make any change, then you're either misinformed, ignorant, or lazy. But I will tell you something. I'm going to show you something that will motivate you before I end this video. Now you think, what is it? Well, bro, I got you. Here is something that you will have to judge for yourself. And that is the before and after weight loss. So when you're losing weight, you will go from this to this. See how he went from a round double chin face to having a nice lower third. Look at the width of his lower third. It's wide. Nice jawline. See that? He improved his looks by losing weight. This guy, look at him. He almost had no neck. Jawline? What jawline? Where? But here, like you can cut your sandwich with his jawline. See how losing weight made his face look way better. Way better. Way better. Here's another thing. Guy has no neck, no chin, none whatsoever. Lost weight. He has not only a strong jawline, but also a strong chin. Look at how he looks. The difference. See this? You don't see any jawline. What jawline? See this? You can cut a birthday cake with this. Looks maxing. Start your weight loss journey right now. Start dieting. If you already have experience with dieting and you're bored of dieting, try fasting. Of course, you have to consult your medical expert and talk about this. But start losing weight right now. And that's the end of this video. Hopefully, you guys have learned a lot from this video. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. And I will talk to you in part 3 of the NoFap attraction video. Thank you for listening to me. And as always, doe normaal.